up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my series Unlocking Entrepreneurship, where I take you along with me as I try to figure out being an entrepreneur and creating another stream of income for myself and family. It has been a long time. It has been a very long time since I've done one of these episodes. I think the last episode I did was in 2021, and here we are in 2024. It has sat on my heart for that long to not give up on the series, to bring it back, to tell the full story. So that's what I'm here to do today. And speaking of not giving up, speaking of trying it again, I am going to recommit to my hair business. Both the series and the hair business have really sat on my heart, and I just cannot let them go. Despite all of the struggles, all the frustrations, I cannot let them go. In the 3 years that I didn't do either, I missed it. It was like one thing nagging at me that I couldn't get over. So I'm back here again to really get down and try to make it work. So let's jump right in. Okay, so let's set the scene. It is 2021. I have my website up. I'm selling hair. At this point, I've had a few purchases, and I think that everything is going pretty well. I decided that I need a second vendor. I need a second vendor just so that if something happens to the first, I have a backup plan, and also so that I can start to explore different products. When I started my business, or when I first had my business and my website, all I had on there were straight bundles and curly bundles and wavy bundles. I wanted to expand a bit to carry straight bundles, to carry the latest lace products, to have tape-ins, clip-ins, eye tips, all those kinds of things. But my first vendor, he didn't do any of those things, okay? He did curly bundles, wavy bundles, straight bundles, and he did like the regular clip-ins, not the seamless ones. He didn't have any like ponytails, and then he just had like standard straight lace. But at the time, I was really looking for, I think what was cool was HD lace, so that's what I was looking for. So I decided to expand and look for a second vendor. I come across what I think will be my second vendor. I love his products. Everything is going well. So I decide to order a sample, a 3-bundle sample. The sample got to me in a timely fashion. The person that ran the website, I won't say their name here, but the person that ran the website, they were very responsive. They communicated within a timely manner. And so I felt really good about going forward with this second vendor as a supplier for my business. So I received the bundles, and at this time I'm familiar with what raw hair should look like, feel like, what it's like when it's wet, what happens when you wash it, the texture when it dries. Like I'm familiar with it at this point, you know. When it comes to raw hair, you couldn't pass a fake in front of me because I would have known. That's how well I knew my product, okay? So the samples look really good. I decide it's time to put my big girl panties on and just make a very large purchase with this vendor so that I could finally stock my racks. Prior to this, I do not think I kept hair on hand. I was kind of drop shipping it, but not telling people that I was drop shipping it. And I didn't like that for me. I felt like in order to reach the next level in my business, I needed to be able to keep product on hand. And so that's what kind of, pushed me towards making a big purchase. So all in all, once everything was settled and the pricing was settled, I was going to be purchasing 20 bundles of hair, 8 closures, and paying around $3,000. I think like maybe $3,200 or something like that for all of this hair. But I felt comfortable with this because, again, you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen, move it or lose it type situation. So I felt really good about going all in on it. I should have known better. This is red flag number 1. So when it's time for me to place the order, they cannot accept PayPal, which ladies, gentlemen as well, if you're going to purchase hair from a vendor, I do not recommend sending money by wire transfer or anything other than PayPal. PayPal is the only carrier in which you're able to kind of have some kind of recourse. So I do not recommend, if a site says we take Western Union or bank transfer, baby, no. It's a no for me. X that right off the list. Like, I'm not going anymore ever again. So I go to my bank. I take my happy little self down to my bank. I had this chunk of money from my income tax refund. Y'all remember when COVID was COVIDing and our refunds were large, right? Like, I think we got more on child credit or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, the refund was there, and I was so committed to my business that I wanted to spend all of it on purchasing hair. So I went to my bank, I signed the form, and once you send that wire transfer, there is nothing anyone can do for you. The police cannot help you, your bank cannot help you, calling their bank is not going to help you. Like, nothing is going to change once you send that wire transfer over. So I sent my wire transfer over, and then I messaged the vendor. I emailed them to let them know, hey, the money is sent. They said, okay, great, thank you so much. We'll go ahead and start working on your order while we wait for confirmation from our bank. I said, okay, cool, life is great. Okay, so life in fact was not good. It was about to become really messed up. So they asked me, once I sent over the wire transfer, to go ahead and send them like my receipt of the wire transfer so that they could know. So once I sent that over to them, they did reply, you know, thank you for your order. We'll go ahead and start processing it. We're going to be waiting on the confirmation from our bank. And so in that email, y'all, and I had been emailing them back and forth for some time. It wasn't like, you know, this is my first email from them. Like, this is my first time even being able to see this message. But in this particular email message, there was a note right above the signature line that said, our factory will be opening next week. That's when we'll be able to, you know, start with like our full production like we had been doing. So I understand COVID was happening, but to me, that is a message that you should note on your website, and not after I have already sent my money to you. So that's red flag number 2. In the conversations we had prior to me actually sending any money over, I feel like that's when they should have disclosed to me, like, we're not going to be able to get your order out right away, because now everything is just starting to make sense that it was their true intention to scam me out of my money. Okay, so that was sent on June 13th, I believe. Was it June? No, it was May. It was May. Ooh, I don't want to lie. I think it was May 23rd. I literally just looked at the date. It was in May, okay? Mid-May, somewhere around mid-May is when I sent the money over to them. I sent the email confirming that the money had been sent, all that good stuff. So after that, I checked in like a week or 2 weeks later. Hey, how's it going? May I have an update on the order? And every single status update from here on out was BS. Okay, I can't tell y'all how many times I actually logged into my WhatsApp to see those messages over there, but I wasn't able to like retrieve it. I don't keep WhatsApp on my phone normally. I only had it to communicate with this vendor, so I don't have the messages from there, but I do have the emails where it says like, oh, our factory hasn't been able to open, but we'll get your order together next week. Okay, well, we're expecting another 10 days. Then I would ask for another update. Okay, well, it's going to be another 2 weeks. Or your hair has gone through the picking phase or the washing phase. Like, yeah, it carried on for at least the next 2 or 3 months where they just kept telling me anything about the hair. Like, at this point, it wasn't even it wasn't making any sense, you know, like not even a little bit what they were saying to me. And so eventually, I can't remember how much time it was later, but eventually the hair did get to me. And when I say I was so excited to open the hair, but also I knew like there's a chance that there's some nonsense happening, but also maybe not, because it took them so long to send my hair to me. The original policy said like, we'll have your hair out within, you know, 10 days or something something like 10 working days or something. And so I thought, okay, like I can wait 10 working days, but all in all, once it came down to it, it was at least 2 months. And again, I understand that it was COVID and that things were changing frequently, but I feel like that's something that they should have made me aware of, instead of making me believe they had the stock of the item, and then only finding out that they didn't until after I sent my money. So that's a question that, I mean, I don't see another pandemic in our future or anything like that, but that's a question to keep in mind when you're asking these vendors. Do you have, you know, the supply right now today? Like, you're not going to have to go get it or fishing for it or anything like that, because I feel like that's maybe what happened in my situation, is that the vendor did not have the hair on hand and they just found something somewhere and sent it to me. So I'll show you guys what they actually sent to me in just a second. But on the left, is this an L? Yeah. On the left is gonna be the true raw hair. This is what I've come to expect. And if you've ever had raw hair, this is what you expect as well. And on the right is what the company actually sent me. The samples that they sent me looked like what was on the left, but then the right is actually what I received 20 bundles of. And I ordered all curly, all wavy hair. And when I tell y'all, it was literally dog hair. Dog hair, baby, sewn on a weft. Someone, I think before I purchased with this company, I had read reviews on the BBB website of this company, and someone says specifically, like, this hair is terrible, do not purchase it, like I can't do anything with this hair. And I, ambitious, naive as ever, was like, yeah, everything is gonna go right for me. And it absolutely did not. I did contact them afterwards to let them know, like, you guys played in my face. Like, the hair that you sent me was not the same quality hair that I sampled. And of course I got no response from them. So at that point I just left it at that. I mean, it had been a few months at least battle of me trying to get some kind of response from them and not getting anything. So all in all, I was scammed out of $3,000. This situation is actually called bait and switch. So they bait you in with a website that looks real, with samples that are beautiful, and then you go in and you make the big purchase, and that's when they sent you lesser quality hair. So that's what happened to me, and that was very discouraging for me. I feel like my business was already slow and just kind of hobbling along, and then that really broke my spirit. I didn't have, I mean, I had $3,000 in tax refund money, but like, I was a single parent at the time, and I had a 5-year-old, I think. No, I had a 4-year-old at the time. That's money that I could have put away to secure our future or to do something for her or with her, but no, I spent that money on hair just for somebody to play in my face about it. So that is ultimately what made me quit. Like, I couldn't see myself at the time investing any more money into this business when I took the biggest risk ever and lost. It is now, I mean, 3 years later, I can say that those type of situations are what come with it. But also, there is this big hair girly. She sells hair on Instagram, and like, she's probably one of the OGs in the game. I follow her on Instagram, and she talks sometimes about her losses, but overall you don't really see the losses that people take, and that just had me so defeated. Like, I totally gave up after that. I let my website go, and I wanted nothing else to do with it. So that's my story of how I got scammed out of my money, and ultimately what made me quit my business. But like I said earlier in this video, the business, this series have really sat on my heart, and I just feel like I should take it to the moon. Like, I feel like I should give it everything I have to see if it can work out, you know, and understand that losses will come. You absolutely will take L's, and that's okay. If you really want it, you'll keep pushing. So that's why I'm here 3 years later. I see the OG girlies selling hair on YouTube, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I want to do that. When I think about like what I want for myself in the future, I want to wake up, hop in my Mercedes, and drive over to my salon suites where I'm selling hair, where I have hairdressers, where it's just a vibe. It's a girl's world. That's what I want for myself. And I feel like in the 5 years, 6 years since I've started my business, I've been able to achieve everything for myself except for creating income with hair and YouTube, which is what was on my list. So we're back. This is gonna be episode 3. Episode 4 is gonna come out in about a week or 2 weeks or so. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this series and definitely learn from my mistakes. If the site you're purchasing from asks you to send a bank transfer or a Western Union, a wire transfer, no ma'am, no Pam, no ham, no turkey, do not do it. Do not send that money. Find you somebody else, even if that means you don't have the product that you want right away. Even if that means you have to spend another month finding, vetting, searching for vendors, okay? Just take it easy. Take it easy. Do not get in a rush. And just be as diligent as possible. Make sure you're asking all the right questions, especially if the vendor, the manufacturer has the hair on spot. And then I would also make sure they are a manufacturer versus a vendor. There is a difference. A vendor is someone who acquires the product and then they sell it to you. So they're like a middleman of sorts, whereas a manufacturer, they go get the raw materials, they make the product for you, and then they sell it to you. So those are my words of advice from that one experience. At this point, I have healed from it. I've moved on from it. I don't have any anger about it. And really, I'm just ready to start all the way over. So to start, I have ordered hair from my OG vendor, the one that has never ever done me wrong. And I also have my Shopify site back up. It is almost live. It is missing a few pictures that I want to add. So I have a photo shoot coming up where we'll be able to get those, and then the site should go live. So if you enjoy this kind of content, if you want to hear more about my story, if you would like me to be more transparent about my wins and losses, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. If you haven't already, definitely go check out episode 1 and 2 of this series. I can't remember what's in them, but I know they're good, so go check them out. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.